Have you ever imagined life without cell phones, the internet, or modern machines? As we all know, the technology is now part of our everyday lives, making our work easier, faster, and more efficient. So, in this report, I will share what technology is. Technology is a useful servant but a dangerous master. This famous line by Christian Loss Long remind us that technology is good and helpful if we control it and use it responsibly. But if people become too dependent or misuse the technology, it can harm us, most such as causing addiction, job loss, or even wars. The word technology comes from the Greek word technologia, which means the systematic treatment or the science of craft. In simple terms, when we say technology, it is the use of knowledge, skills, and tools para makakreate ng solutions that make human life easier, faster, and more efficient. Always remember that technology is not just about gadgets or machines. It is a branch of scientific knowledge. Nag-involve siya ng collections and application of techniques, methods, processes, and systems that humans use to solve problems or improve the way we live and work. We can understand technology in three main applications. Number one, designing and creation of useful commodities like the goods and services. So this refers to inventing or improving products that people need every day. So examples, creating smartphones that allow us para maka-communicate mo, and also developing faster modes of transportation like electric cars and airplanes, or designing household appliances like washing machines and ref mo that save time and effort. So this shows how technology directly affects our lifestyle and convenience. Next, scientific investigations. Technology is an essential tool in research and science. Scientists use advanced machines such as telescopes, microscopes, and computers to explore space, study cells, and analyze data. Through technology, discoveries like vaccines, climate change studies, and DNA research have become possible, helping humanity understand the world better. Lastly, solving certain problems. Technology provides practical solutions for both small and large problems. For example, when we are lost, navigation apps like Google Maps guide us to our destinations. On a larger scale, technology is used to address global issues such as renewable energy, environmental protection, and disaster management. This shows that technology is not just for comfort but also for survival and progress. Technology can be understood as a decisive and focused treatment of information and technical means. In simple terms, it is the way humans apply knowledge and tools to create something useful. Its main objective is to produce practical solutions and functions that affect different aspects of life. Technology relates closely to three areas. First, life. Technology helps us to improve our daily lives. Examples, smartphones that connect people constantly, medical devices that monitor health of the people, or appliances that save time and energy at home. To society, technology shapes how the communities interact and progress. It influences communication through social media, education through e-learning, and even governance through digital systems. Last is environment. Technology also impacts the natural world. Renewable energy technology like solar panels and wind turbines reduces pollution, but at the same time, irresponsible use of technology can cause environmental damage like electronic waste or industrial pollution. Technology also involves the use of science in many branches such as industrial arts, the practical application of tools and machines in industries like factory production, robotics, and constructions. Number two, engineering. So the designs and creation of structures, systems, and machines such as bridges, computers, or vehicles. Then number three is applied science, the direct use of scientific knowledge in practical fields like medicine, agriculture, and information technology. Lastly, pure science, the study of natural laws and principles like physics, chemistry, or biology, which serve as the foundation of future technology. So in short, technology refers to the machineries, devices, and systems that have been developed through scientific knowledge. There are benefits of technology, capable and proficient to carry out their daily errands or course quicker. Technology help us save time. Machines, gadgets, and apps allow us to do daily activities faster and with less effort. For example, washing machines, online shopping, and navigation apps makes our tasks convenient, adapt to administer and treat information and the records for present and future purposes. Then, technology is very effective in storing, processing, and retrieving informations. Computers and databases is makatabang sa ato para i-keep ang mga important records mo para safe siya, organized, and ready for future use. It also facilitates easy access to information in education or entertainment. Internet provides instant access to knowledge for students, not just for students but also for professionals and ordinary people. At the same time, it offers entertainment through streaming, games, and social media. Yaoy pros and cons of technology. Ang pros niya is to increase productions. So machines and automation makes products faster and more efficient. It increases return on investment. Businesses gain higher profits through efficiency and innovations. Then easy access to information. So then medical care mo, technology is makatabang sa ato to improve treatments. So the cons of technology, birth to destructive weapons. The same technology can create harmful tools like nuclear bombs. A social divide, as we all know that dili tanan maka-access sa technology mo. Technology dependent and addictions. Overuse leads to reliance, especially on gadgets and social media. Then generation of laziness. Machines and shortcuts sometimes reduce human effort and productivity. As we can see, that technology makes life easier and more connected, but it also has risks. It's up sa ato kung unsaon nato pagkontrol o paggamit ng technology na good purposes. Remember that technology should be our servant, not our master.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Mike Gutierrez and I am assigned to continue the topic from slide 7 to 12. So now let's start. However, good as it seems, technology is costly. If we refer to gadgets and medical surgeries, we would all agree that it is considered luxurious, though at times it can be also necessity, especially in aspects pertaining to health matters. Therefore, it creates a social divide amongst those who can and cannot afford the output of these technologies. So, we all know that technologies is very expensive in terms of upgrading and what else? Upgrading the technologies. So there are technologies who is not just a high cost when it comes to upgrading. Some technologies rely on its brand when in terms to of how much when in terms of how much this costs in terms of upgrading. So there are different types of technologies and different price range in terms of that. So it says here is that it creates a social divide amongst those who can and cannot afford the output of these technologies. So it also tackles here that technologies can be necessity sometimes in terms of health. So sometimes when people who is badly needed to treat with technologies like cancer, people who is rich and can afford enough, they can afford these, or they will afford this kind of medication. But how about to those people who have this kind of illness that that can't afford this kind of technology? So this is this what it says, that it creates a social divide amongst those who can and cannot afford the output of these technologies. So let's continue. It was also observed that technology created a generation of laziness. One obvious characteristic is that they are continuously connected. Everything seems to be just a click away. For many, gone are the days of doing things the old-fashioned way. Directionaries and libraries seems to be a thing of the past. So basically, this context says that technology gives the people a laziness because it says here, so one obvious characteristic that they are continuously connected. So all things can be do it through cell phone. Even shopping can do in cell phone. Like you can just go to an app store, a market store, and just deliver it into your home for you not to spend money to commute, just like that. And it says here the old-fashioned way, dictionaries and libraries seems to be a thing of the past. Yes, it seems to be a thing of the past because in gadgets, mostly in cell phones or other gadgets, there are apps or there are tools that can be library, and with these tools you just can't go you don't need to go to those libraries, and you don't need to use those dictionaries for you to find those words. You can just search it or just click it in your Google. You can search it, and yes, it will appear in your screen of what is the meaning of, or what are you finding. So these things is just a pass of our quad. It's just a pass. It's just a pass. Yes. Let's continue. So, given a whole scenario, what does technology have to do with environment? So, a lot. So, no. So, technology is one have to do with environment a lot. So, innovation is good, no doubt. But when gadgets quickly become obsolete, obsolete, because more efficient models or versions were introduced, and people are not too practical and economical because they want to possess the latest even. So there are some technologies that innovate fast, like iPhones. These brand of gadgets innovate fast. So and the way of it change, that the old fashioned, like example, when you bought a iPhone 11, so a year past, there will be iPhone 12 or iPhone 13 that will be released by a brand of iPhone. So your brand, which is the iPhone 11, will be vanished because there are new brands, or there are new, not brands, there are new what, how do you call this, there are new innovation of iPhone. So even if you don't want to upgrade your phone, and even though you don't want to just cope with this fast fast gliding society, wow. So you will need, if you have this kind of gadgets, you just need to go along the flow, because if you don't upgrade your phone, and if you don't yes, if it don't go to the flow, um your gadget will be, example, it will be lag, or it can be just things like that. It can be lag, or it can have a malfunction because it is not updated already. So yeah, there are gadgets like that. So This context basically says that persons who have this kind of gadgets, so you need to be like practically thinking if you bought or if you buy some gadgets that you will use, so you need to think of these gadgets of their shelf life of, mm, is their gadget innovate quickly, or is this gadget a good for me, or good for me for my personal use or for my gaming. So this is the things that you need to consider when you are buying a gadget. So now let's proceed. And what about the use of technology to create weapons for mass destructions? The illustration below sums it all. So yes, no. Technology is very powerful, yes. It can create weapons for mass destructions like nuclear bombs. We have these snipers. What about tanks? Yes, technology is very powerful. That's why to those people who have their wide range of knowledge in technology, they can create these things. Yes, they can create these things, and also they can cause a destruction if they will create this kind of weapons. So the use of nuclear weapons has been around since the mid 20th century. Um, it's regarded under severe comprehensive arm and military demands, which question the value of technology that has the capability to transform the earth to be unhealthy for human. Habitat habitation habitation taking into consideration all the negative radiations being emitted by such weapons of mass destructions. All living creatures and all resources will be affected with misuse of technology. Yes, technology can be dangerous or can be harmful to us if humans or to those people who have knowledge in technologies will misuse this. Like example, if I am an expert of bomb, so I can create those nuclear bombs, hand grenade bombs, what else, anything that can explode. So I am a person, if I am a person like that, no, so if if I will misuse these skills or knowledge of mine, so I can create a mass destruction, or even I can destroy the earth. If oh, I can destroy that, so I can destroy the environment, or I can destroy the animals. So just like that, it can harm so very well in the people and the environment and the society. So that's how technology works. So let's proceed to the chart below. You can see, so these are the technological issues that also can affect our global technology. So first is foreign technology acquisition. So foreign technology acquisition, this refers to obtaining technologies from other countries. It helps nation modernize faster, but it may also create dependence if not balanced with local innovation. So second is generating local capability. So this emphasizes building a country's own technological skills, knowledge, and industries. It reduces reliance on foreign sources and ensures sustainability, but it requires strong investment in education, research, and infrastructures. So number three is barriers. So these are obstacles that prevent smooth technology development or transfer. They may include high cost, of skills worker, poor infrastructure, respective laws, or intellectual property issues. So next is preference of technology. This highlights that countries or organizations often choose technologies based on cost efficiency, compatibility, or political economic ties. Sometimes the most suitable technologies for local needs is not chosen because of this preference. So number five is provision of technology transfer. So this refers to the formal arrangement or agreements that allow the country or company to to share technology with others. So it involves contracts, licenses, and partnerships. However, provisions can be restrictive, expensive, or limited, which may slow down development. So for the last slide, yes, for the last slide, so you can see there that the pictures below is showing what what is going on, what is going on before, or what is going on and what is going on today. So as you can see, no, there is a big changes in the past of what are the habits, or what are the, how do you call this, what people do in the past and what people do in now. So no, as you can see, people in the past playing, jollying around, gathering around in outside, they are running, what else. So people nowadays is just clicking their phones, laying in bed. No, they they're just become lazy, not productive. No, so it's very sad that this generations is, for me, this generations is not happy because it gives less social interactions. So but these generations can help those workers or those works to be fastened, or it can be smooth. So that is the only half of this technology era. For me, I will call this technology era because this world of now is being used, or being, yes, being used by the technology. So that's all for my part. I hope you learned something, and thank you.
So don't be afraid to give up to good, to go for the great. According to John D. Rockefeller. So if we settle the good enough for the good enough, we miss the chance to build something truly sustainable, not just profit, not just for profit, but for people and the planet. So just we have to do is don't be afraid to give up to good, to go for the great. So instead na we must be good enough, ensure, para to have a great and have a good for the better future. So numerous endeavors and the green renewable energy panoramas are endorsed by perspective for profit and not the desire for transformation. That's business, and that's the ugly truth is it. A lot of excitement and hype implies that the dilemma in resolve. A number of these ventures could possibly even succeed, but which one? The green energy like solar, wind, and hydro is supposed to help us move away from fossil fuel, which pollute the earth and cause climate change. It sounds like the perfect solution, right? But a lot of companies are jumping into green energy, not to save planet, but to make money. That's just how business works. They're looking at what goods for business, not necessarily what's best for the earth long term. Wala lang sila naglooking na sila og business, but not necessarily best for the earth long term. Business ra kibali ang ilahang aksyonan. There's a lot of excitement around green energy, and some of it is real, but it sometimes gives people the feeling that the problem is already solved. It's not. Some green energy projects might work together. Others might fail or cause new problems. the so-called solutions applicable for the time being only? What about short and long-term effects? So, mato akong pasabot. Practically each and every option has an Achilles heel, outlays and expenditures, resilience on other resources, magnitude in terms of impact, net energy, and others. Should we have started preparing the kids ago? Or is it too late to act? Every option we have today has trades-off. First is cost. Dapat clean energy isn't always cheap to build or maintain. Resource dependence. Wind turbines need rare metals. Solar panels need waters and land. Scale. Some solutions don't work well on a big enough scale to power entire countries. And net energy. Some energy sources take nearly as much energy to produce as they give. Others, storage, transformation, politics, etc. Are we too late? We should have started decades ago. That's true. But no, it's not too late. Unless we keep waiting, the longer we delay, the harder and more expensive it becomes. So what now? We need honest conversations about the limits and cost of green energy. We need to focus on long-term solutions, not just short-term profits. We should invest smarter, not just faster, and we must act now, even if it's not perfect. Not every green energy idea will work. Some might even feel badly, but doing nothing, that's the worst option of all. And disputes and conflicts with environmental matters are age-old, long-standing glitch with modern contemporarily twists and surprises. Viewpoints and standpoints on significance of environmental resources revolutionize with time. Experts are becoming progressively more alarmed that our overutilizations of resources and disrespect and ignorance for the penalties and consequences of greediness will result in extreme madness in the future. Conflict about the environment have been around for a long time. Today, these problems have become more complex with new challenges and surprises. People's views on how important nature and its resources are have changed over time. Now, many experts are warning us we are using too many natural resources without thinking about the damage we're causing. If we keep going like this, things could get very bad in the future. One big concern is food. We rely on nature to grow it. That's why farming or agriculture is so important when talk about the environment and conflict. Nature as a source of food is one of the major concerns. Thus, agriculture is one of those crucial subjects of interest to appreciating and discerning environment and conflict. Knowing all the numerous concerns with the food system, how can we settle, resolve, and inspire transformation in the structure? So, how can we fix these problems and make the food system better? Also, how do we deal with the fears and confusion about the future? How do we know which actions will help us make progress? So at the same time, the world population keeps growing. More people means more pressure on the Earth's limited resources, especially food and energy. Yes, and how can we deal with the all comes doubt and skepticism of uncertainty versus the future prospects and potentials, the intricacy of the system, discerning the effect of our judgments and opting on a way to promote and advance progress. But then again, population continues to increase. Overpopulation obviously competes for available resources. Humans have a very towering demand for basic needs including food and energy. So in short, we're using na other nature resources is very fast, especially with a growing population. Farming is a key to this problem. To solve it, we need to rethink how we grow and share food and make choices that protect the planet for the future. So dapat siya to protektahan and to save a planet through magtanim or magtanim ng anong mga just like mga trees and other na makatabang sa ato ang planet. So we have to do a better for our environment.
So we have to find means and ways to balance everything. How? Unfortunately, solving such problems cannot be achieved by following a conventional or conservative straight line. So, fixing environmental problems is not easy. So, we make hard choices na maghatag ita ng mga butang na makatabang sa ato Mother Nature or sa ato kalibutan. There is absolutely no fancy way out when it comes to trade-offs in reducing impact. So it's not easy to reduce environmental impact. So we must accept that challenge. Alternative energy is a future idea whose time is past. Renewable energy is a future idea whose time has come. So, Belpin then says that alternative energy sources like wind or solar have existed as ideas or options for many years. Pero dili sila kadayaw gagamit sa una or walay kadayaw gagamit. So, today's generation, Belpin then said that we should start using clean energy like solar and wind power kay dako siya na tabang to protect the environment. Environment navigating the future. So imagine life without fuel. How can you go to see other beautiful places in other parts of the globe? Or would it be easier and more convenient to fly by plane? So traveling far would be hard without fuel or gas. So dili sablang una maglangoy kita, magdagan, so madugay na kita yaon. So flying is faster and easier, so fuel is so important. Without the slightest doubt, technology has its own set of benefits and advantages. So, ang technology is naghahatag sa aton ng benefits but also problems. What matters is how we use it. So, first, pinakauna gayud is kailangan natin mahibawaan ang ato current environment issues. Kaya, ini na knowledge is makahatag sa ato or to help us make good choices and changes. Karma. The dictionary defines karma as the sum of persons' actions in this and previous states of existence, viewed as deciding their fate in future existence. Karma is anak ng mga actions is yung mga consequences. Kung maghimo ka ng mga sakto ng mga butang, mga dayo ng mga butang, is mabalik ihapon yun sa ato. Pero kung maghimo ka ng mga doubt na nabutang, mabalik yung sa ihapon yun sa ato. Amo na yun sa yanan cycle, galibot-libot na, gabalik-balik na. So kung uni imo gihatag, kung uni imo gihimo, yung sa amo na gyapon imo madawat. People, the environmental crisis, and the future of life on Earth. So, Alan Kay said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So, ita daghapon maghimo na nato future. Sa ato daghapon yan gikan. People shape the earth and nag-face ang sa mga big environmental problems. So, ita, pwede kita mo gamit ng science and technology para makahimo or para makahimo kita ng paagi na maprotektahan and ma-improve ang ato environment. So, dapat all countries na lugar should work together for a better future. Truthfully, only a few of us will live over 100 years to appreciate lengthy term of changes. Dilit na ng tao is magdugay na makita ang mga kabaguhan sa environment. Ang iba ng mga tao is makialam sa ini na issue. So, kung ikaw may makialam sa imong loved ones and sa future generations, you should take action before it's too late. Samtang sayo pa. Thankfully, with the aid of science and technology, more options are made available. Science and technology give us more choices to help the environment, but picking the best option depends on personal feelings and opinions. So, yaon naghihapon yaon sa ato. Gikan naghihapon yan sa ato or kita naghihapon magbuot.
This is a detailed explanation on the slides about our topic in lesson 9. So in slide 14, what can we expect in the future? The future is inherently uncertain and human civilization faces a wide spectrum of possibilities. On one extreme lies the worst case scenario, a total collapse of civilization caused by environmental degradations, conflict, pandemics, or other catastrophic events. On the opposite end, there is the best case scenario, in which society reach its most optimistic potential, marked by technological advancement, sustainability, and global cooperation. So there are several factors contribute to this uncertainty, which are first is the limited insight and awareness. So human knowledge of complex systems such as climate, economy, and ecosystem is complete. This makes it difficult to fully predict or understand the consequences of ongoing changes. The second is the unforeseen events. The future may be shaped by sudden or unexpected developments, such as natural disasters, wars, breakthroughs in technology that are beyond human control. And the third contribute to this uncertainty is the human choice. Ultimately, the future is not predetermined. It will be shaped by human decisions, behaviors, and discipline. Collective responsibility, ethic governance, and sustainable practices will play a crucial role in determining whether the future leans toward collapse or towards the progress. And so the second part of my topic is in slide 15 of lesson 9. so the interconnected problems and approaches. Addressing the challenges of future requires acknowledge their interconnected and complex nature. Traditional linear or conservative approaches are insufficient because global issues are deeply intertwined. Instead, solution must take into account multiple dimensions and relationships. So the diagram highlights three major interconnected elements such as the first is sectors. So in sectors, problems and solutions span across social, environmental, and economic sphere. This domain cannot be separated since progress in one area often affects the others. And then number two, the themes. So in themes, core values such as equity, sustainability, and resilience must be central to any solution. Without them, progress risks being short-lived or unevenly distributed. And lastly, the third is the scales. So what's inside the scales is issues must be addressed at multiple levels, local, regional, and global. For example, climate change cannot be solved only at the local level, but local actions still contribute significantly to the global outcomes. This holistic view emphasizes that everything is interconnected, much like overlapping circles. Effective solution requires integrated collaboration, collaborative, and multidimensional strategies. And lastly, about my topic in slide 16 of lesson 9 is the survival in the next mass extinction. The possibility of another mass extinction raises the question of who or what might endure such an event. The answer depends largely on the cost and circumstances of extinction. Asteroid impact, similar to the event that ended the age of dinosaurs, such as natural catastrophe, will drastically alter the planet ecosystem and potentially wipe out large populations. And human-made causes, anthropogenic factors such as climate change, habitat destruction, nuclear conflict, or pandemics may trigger a widespread extinction. Survival will depend on adaptability, resilience, and chance. Those species of or groups that manage to persist will shape the next stage of Earth's evolutionary and biological development. Humanity, if it survives, will play a decisive role in steering future transformations through innovation, adaptation, and cooperation. The slides underscore that life on Earth is fragile yet persistent, and the decision we make today may determine whether humans are among the survivors who help guide the planet's future.